Hi, good morning. Hi, good morning. We are going full speed in ICD-10, but remember this is a preparation for your exam for ICD-10, so we cannot forget the CPT coding system because that has not gone away. For procedures, you have to know CPT. So, since we already know, we have explained in detail how to find the ICD-10 codes, we're just going to level problems now, which are a very quick way of getting you to every single problem. We're going to do that daily, but we have to also give a review of CPT because every exam that you take, CPT is included there. So, we're going to do one problem, very well explained of all the CPT main parts, and then we're gonna go, our final goal is to go one CPT problem, one ICD-10 problem, and one medical terminology review every day. Okay, so we're trying to get that goal. So now we're going to explain to you CPT in more detail. So we start with, we started already with evaluation and management, which you have it on the website and you can watch it. But now we're going to do the second part, which is anesthesia. Okay, so we're using this book just in case, and the code for this book is RVA, which means review A. It means the first book for review, and this reviews all the coding systems that you have to know to take the exam. All right, so here we are doing the anesthesia part, which is right here, and it's the page 247, and we have chosen, because it's easier to explain, the number, which one? 11, right?
Yes.
Number 11, code anesthesia for total hip replacement, okay? So let's come back here to the whiteboard. The problem is you have to code anesthesia for total hip replacement. That is a problem. And you have to use the CPT coding system for that. Now the system is similar to ICD-10 that you have to go to the index first. You find a code or a range of codes, and then you check those codes in the tabular, right? The only difference is that the CPT is in another part. The index is at the end. In the ICD-10, the index is at the beginning, but basically it works in the same way. Okay, so the problem is code anesthesia for total hip replacement. Okay, now for the code one using the index, this is the path. Okay, you go to the index. This means go to the index, right? Then you go, the index is alphabetically, then you go to anesthesia, right? And then in the anesthesia section, you go, it's under, it's, it is a little indented, all the subcategories. You're going to go to replacement. You go to replacement because it says replacement here, and then you go to hip because it says hip here, right? And it gives you a range of codes, 01212 to 01215, right? This is what you get from the index. Now you're going to refine that by going to the tabular. In the tabular, you just review these codes, 1212, 1213, 1214, and 1215. And here is where you use a process of elimination. You read the definitions of all these four, and the one that comes closer to the definition of the problem, that should be your code. Now, the 1212 says, the main thing it says is a disarticulation, which means it's just a part of the hip that is not working. It's not the total, it's different from total, but we need total. So that's why this one doesn't work. Now the 1213 is not available. It's not on our coding system, so this doesn't work because it's not available. Now, let's leave the 1214 for the end. But why is the 1215 not available? Because it says revision. Revision means that a procedure has been done and now it's being reviewed, which it doesn't tell us here. It doesn't tell here that it's a revision for a procedure that has already been done. So the revision eliminates this one. Well, this one is the more or less the one that's still standing because it says total, it says hip, and it says arthroplasty. The only thing that we don't find here is arthroplasty. but with a little medical terminology, you know that arthro is articulation and plasty is the repair of the articulation. So this one is okay. It's still a function of the hip, but the main key here is total. So because of this word, this is total, and here also says total, we choose this one. This is the one. Right? Because of the word total. After reviewing our 4 options, we go with this one. So the answer that we have is 0, 1, 12, 14. And we check the book, and we know that this is the right answer. Okay? So now I'm going to take the camera, and Stephanie's going to do the whole thing with the book so you can follow it. Okay? Ready? Tell me when you're ready. Okay?
Yes.
All right. So show them the cover of we're using an old CPT book, but for this problem it's still relevant. Can you show them the cover? This is the CPT that we're using right now, right? And then you go to the index, which is the first thing, right? Remember that we have the problem here is code anesthesia for total hip replacement, and the first step is go to the index, right? Then go to anesthesia, then replacement, then hip. Let's do that. Go to the index. Go to the index that is in the back, right?
Right.
And then you go to
anesthesia.
Where's anesthesia? Right here, anesthesia. And then you go to?
Then you go to replacement, which will be in the next page.
You keep going, and the subcategories here, you have to find it alphabetically. Where's replacement?
Then go to this one, next page.
Mm-hmm.
Then here is replacement.
And see, replacement, right? Under hip, oh no, under
repair of skull. Under the
under anesthesia, there's replacement, right?
Oh, right.
Okay, now that we got in replacement, we're gonna go to.
We're going to hip.
Hip, because that's what the problem says, and there is where you get your range of codes. It says from 01 to 12 to 01 to 15. Those are the 4 codes that they tell you, right?
Right.
So with that information, you're going to go now to the tabular.
All right.
Okay?
Yes.
So you start with the first one. The tabular is at the beginning, and it's organized by sections, and you're going to find the anesthesia section, right?
Right.
And this is also numerically organized. So it is, where is it?
It's in the upper leg. And
upper leg.
And here is a 0, 12, 12.
But give me the main category is anesthesia, right?
This one.
Anesthesia, right? And then from there you go to.
There we go to upper leg.
Yeah, which you don't have to know that it's upper leg, but you just look for the number that they gave you, and that's the first number. The first one, 1212, says hip disarticulation, right?
Yes.
The 13 is not there. It doesn't exist. The 14 says total hip arthroplasty. And the 15 says revision. Now you're going to go through a process of elimination there to see which one is the best description from the exercise, so the one that they're asking you. The 12 says hip disarticulation. It's one of the functions of the hip that has gone wrong and they're repairing it, but it's not total. The 14 says total, the 13 is not there, and the 15 says revision. So from analyzing these 4 choices, or actually 3 choices, but 13 is not there, you conclude that the 14 has to be the right one because it says total. And the word total is in our problem. So that's the only one that has the word total. So the answer is
0, 1, 2, 14.
0, 1, 2, 14. Okay, so that's the whole process. Now, the way that we're going to do it in the future is this way. Let's show how we're going to do it in the future. We just go to the first. That's the summary. Can you go to the page up?
Okay.
Okay, keep going up. Okay, this is how we're going to do in the future. Once we explain to you how to find the codes in detail, this is how we're going to do it in the future real quick. First, we identify the problem. We read the problem, code anesthesia for total hip replacement. We give you like 2 to 3 seconds for you to pause the video so you can find it. Then we give you the answer. The answer is 0, 12, 14. Now, if you didn't find it, if your answer doesn't match the answer that we give you, then we're going to give you a few tips. The tips that we have is that hip disarticulation is not total hip replacement, okay? And a revision is a review of a previous procedure. So with that, you can eliminate some of the choices. And we remind you that the answer is 0, 12, 14. And then we ask you to find the answer now. We give you 2 to 3 seconds, and then we give you a summary of the whole problem. That's the whole problem. The problem is code anesthesia for total hip replacement, and the code 1 through the index goes like this.
First, you go to index.
Go to index.
Then you go to anesthesia.
Anesthesia.
Then you go to replacement. Then you go to hip.
Okay.
Then you get the range 0, 12, 12 through 0, 12, 15.
Right. And now the code 1 through the tabular.
First, you go to tabular. Then you go to 0, 12, 12, disarticulation.
Disarticulation is the main word that eliminates that, right?
Right.
Then you keep going.
Then you go to 0, 12, 14, total hip arthroplasty.
So we're going to leave that because it's total. Now, what about the next one? 0, 12?
0, 12, 15.
Is this?
Revision.
Revision. So that eliminates it. So we go back to that double / means go back to 0, 12, 14. That's the right one, right?
Right.
And then the answer that we have at the bottom is 0, 12, 14. And that's the way we're going to do in the future the problems, so we can do it faster, okay? And then as a final shot, we're just going to invite you to visit our website. And thanks for watching.